Hello everyone, and welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room. Thank you for joining today's Order Entry 101 training event. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to test for picture and sound. So if you can hear my voice and see the projection in the room, please enter a Y into the room now. Alright, looks like I'm coming in loud and clear, so thank you everyone for confirming that for me. So it's important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstance and financial resources. It is possible to lose all of the funds deposited with your broker, and you could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at brokerage support at NinjaTrader.com for more information or for a copy of the CFTC full risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation or recommendation, but simply educational in nature. So today we will be covering, trying to understand the different order types, how to add a SuperDOM to a workspace, using the SuperDOM to place trades, enabling ChartTrader on a chart, using ChartTrader to place trades, and managing and trading using the Control Center. So for those of you that might be new to NinjaTrader, NinjaTrader is a free application for advanced charting, market analytics, automated strategy development, and trade simulation. We only charge for our product if and when you decide to trade live on the NinjaTrader platform. If you'd like to learn more, please click on the links I provided in the yellow information box below my display. I'd also like to mention that over the next few weeks, we're launching our new education events, but we're not quite finished with our new improvements, and we could definitely use your help. So at the end of this event, there will be a 4-question survey in which you can tell me how to improve this webinar in particular. So I look forward to your feedback. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with today's session. I'll switch over to my desktop here. All right. So for today's session, we're going to be connecting to the simulated data feed. To connect to the simulated data feed, what you'll do is on your Control Center, you'll go to File, Connect, and then left-click on Simulated Data Feed. Move this back down here. So the simulated data feed connection provides internally generated market data and is not reflective of the actual market. This connection is ideal for training and becoming familiar with the NinjaTrader application. The trend slider control, which is this tiny little window right here, it'll appear once you're connected to the simulated data feed. If you left mouse click on the slider and you move it up or down, that'll result in the simulated prices moving in that direction. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's start by taking a look at the most basic of order entry options, which is just using the Control Center here. So whenever you open up NinjaTrader for the first time, it'll open to the Control Center here. And you'll probably notice right off the bat these buy and sell buttons along with a few of these other assorted options. So this is the Orders tab. And as there is no visual component to placing orders using the Order Entry tab, you might find it a little difficult to place order types such as limit and stop orders with as much precision as you'd like to. And because of that, we won't be spending too much time on this section. But there are a few items here that are worth a look. So let's take a look. Let's start by taking a look at the order type drop-down box. As you can see, all types of orders can be placed using the Orders tab, including limit, market, stop, and stop limit orders. So for example, if you wanted to place a limit order using the Orders tab, you would need to set a limit price over here to the right where it says limit price. And if you wanted to place a stop order, you would need to set a stop price. And if you wanted to set a stop limit order, you would need to set both a limit price and a stop price. And we'll get into what these various order types mean shortly and what each of them are useful for. But for now, we'll go ahead and just press on here. So let's go ahead and I guess the first thing we'll do, let's go ahead and set an instrument. I'm going to go ahead and just set ES615 here, a pretty standard instrument, and we'll go ahead and use that to practice. So let's go ahead and set the market order type. And let's just go ahead and place a buy market order. So to do that, you'll just want to set the market order type in this drop-down box, and then click on the green buy button just below that. And this confirm order placement window will appear. You just want to go ahead and just click yes to confirm that order. And you can also place a sell market order if you wish by left-clicking on the red sell button over here, just to the right of the buy button. So you'll notice that now that we placed two orders, both of these orders show up as entries on the Orders tab, just down here. At this point, you want to take note of the state column, which is here. This column indicates what is currently happening with your order. The most common order types that you might notice here might be initialized, indicating that your order is being validated locally on your PC. Usually that lasts no longer than, usually under a second. Pending submit, indicating that your order has been submitted, but not necessarily accepted by your connectivity provider. Accepted, indicating that your order has been received and confirmed by your broker. Working, indicating that your order has been received and confirmed by the exchange. And filled, like we see here, indicating that your order has been completely filled. And there are a few other order types, and for further information regarding these order states, I'm going to go ahead and post a link in the room. So take a look at that help guide article if you have any questions regarding that. So let's place a limit order, which, like I said earlier, might prove a little bit more difficult as opposed to if we had some visual representation, which we'll get to shortly. So to place a limit order, what you'll do is select Limit from the Order Type drop-down box. And then you want to type in your desired limit price in the Limit Price box, just over here to the right. Let's go ahead and just place a buy limit order. So in order to do that, we will need to pick a point below the last traded price, which is displayed over here to the left under the last column, which is currently sitting at about 2150. 2101. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring that down to 2099.50. And then we'll just go ahead and click on buy. And then yes. So you'll notice that whenever you place that order, you'll see this green working state, which I did mention earlier, indicating that the order is currently at the exchange. So you might notice that's a little difficult to place your order with as much precision as you'd like using the Orders tab, as there is no visual representation. So let's just take a short quiz covering the contents of the section that we just covered, and then we'll move on to what various order types are useful for. So the question is, when placing a limit order on the Orders tab, what values must be specified before being able to place the trade? Alright, looks like we've got a few answers in here now. So this is a multiple choice question, I'd like to point out, so there are multiple correct answers here. Alright, looks like we've got a few answers in here. So the correct answers are the top three. You need to set an instrument in which you're trading. You need to set an order type, which would be the limit order. And you need to set a limit price. So the top three answers are correct. Looks like everybody pretty much nailed it. So good job, everyone. Go ahead and close that poll. And let's go ahead and cover order types. Switch over to my slideshow here. So I'll have the short definition here, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll just go over each order type in a little bit more depth than what's displayed here. So the first order type is a market order. So a market order is the most basic type of trade order. It instructs the broker to buy or sell at the best price that is currently available. Typically, this type of order will be executed immediately. The primary advantage to using a market order is that the trader is guaranteed to get the trade filled. If a trader absolutely needs to get in or out of a trade, a market order is the most reliable order type. The downside, however, is that market orders do not guarantee price, and they do not allow any precision in order entry and can lead to costly slippage. Using market orders only in markets with good liquidity can help limit losses from slippage. And the term slippage refers to the difference between the price the trader expected and the price at which the trade is actually filled. In fast-moving markets, slippage can be substantial and the difference between a winning and a losing trade. So a limit order is an order to buy or sell at a specified price or better. A buy limit order, which is a limit order to buy, can only be executed at the specified limit price or lower. Conversely, a sell limit order will be executed at the specified limit price or higher. Unlike a market order where the trader can simply press buy and let the market choose the price, a trader must specify a desired price when using a limit order. While a limit order prevents negative slippage, it does not guarantee a fill. A limit order will only be filled if price reaches the specified limit price, and a trading opportunity could be missed if price moves away from the limit price before it can be filled. Please note the market can move to the limit price and the order still may not get filled if there are not enough buyers or sellers, depending on the trade direction at that particular price level. So a stop order, or a stop market order, as they're also known as, is an order to buy or sell a contract when its price surpasses a particular point, thus ensuring a greater probability of achieving a predetermined entry or exit price, limiting the investor's loss or locking in his or her profit. Once the price surpasses the predefined entry or exit point, the stop order becomes a market order. And finally, we have stop limit orders. So a stop limit order is an order placed with a broker that combines the features of a stop order with those of a limit order. A stop limit order will be executed at a specified price or better after a given stop price has been reached. Once the stop price is reached, the stop limit order becomes a limit order to buy or sell at the limit price or better. And that is the primary order types there. So let's move on to the SuperDOM and how exactly to place trades using the SuperDOM. And before we move on to that, just one more note. In order to place a lot of different trade types using the SuperDOM, you will need a middle mouse button, which is displayed here on this image. The middle button is technically your mouse wheel, but if you click down on the mouse wheel, the grand majority of mice that have wheels, if you click down on the wheel, it is a button. So you will need one of those in order to actually place a few different types of trades using the SuperDOM, especially limit orders. All right. So, for today's webinar, we will be using a dynamic SuperDOM. But all the features I'll be demonstrating today can also be used in the static SuperDOM. So we'll start by opening a dynamic SuperDOM by using the Control Center, File, New, Dynamic SuperDOM button. And that'll appear on your screen. Mine appeared on my other screen, so I'm going to bring this over. So the SuperDOM provides complete functionality for the management of orders, positions, and discretionary exit and stop strategies in a highly visual and efficient manner. The DOM in SuperDOM stands for Depth of Market, and the SuperDOM contains 3 columns. The left side is the buy column. It displays the total contracts on the bid at their respective prices, also known as the market depth, and is used to submit and modify buy orders. The right side is the sell column. It displays the total contracts on the ask at their respective prices, and is used to submit and modify sell orders. The center is the price column. It displays market prices and is used to modify stop loss and profit target orders. The yellow bar is the last traded price, and the current volume is shown in parentheses. The blue price is the bid price, and the green price is the ask price. So when using the dynamic SuperDOM, the ask, bid, and last traded price are at a fixed location, and the price rows move in response to a change in market price. If you hold your cursor on one price point in a dynamic SuperDOM, you'll see that the price under your cursor changes, but the last traded price stays centered in the SuperDOM. So the dynamic SuperDOM features a hold button that will pause movement of the price ladder to allow for easier order entry. You can also access the hold button feature by using your spacebar. And it's easy to tell whenever you've enabled the hold feature, as the background of your SuperDOM will turn bright yellow. When in a held state, the price column, the top of the price column rather, will begin to display the difference between the market price when you pressed hold and the current market price. And the top of the bid and the sell columns will display the current bid and ask prices respectively. So I'm going to go ahead and move some of these charts over to just kind of fit this into our workspace we have going here. Just going to zoom a bit. Okay. That. All right. I'm just going to put it here. And before we get started placing some orders here, let's go ahead and make a few just aesthetic changes so it'll fit in with the rest of our workspace. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and right-click on the SuperDOM and then left-click on the Properties button. So let's go ahead and change the simulation color. Let's change it to cornflower blue, which kind of matches up with our other windows here. Let's scroll down and change the Show Cumulative Depth option to True. And what it's going to do is you'll notice these depth of market numbers here on the buy and the sell columns. What this option is going to do is add in a sixth row, which is basically just going to total up the rest of these numbers. And it will display the sum of the rest of these. Let's go ahead and change Show Quick Buttons to True, which is just going to make some hidden buttons there a little easier to access. And let's also change the Show Realize P&L When Flat option to True, which is going to show us our profit and loss values even whenever our account is in a flat position. And finally, let's go ahead and change our stop limit offset value to 2, number 2. And we'll get into what this option means shortly, but it is used for stop limit orders. It is the value that will tell NinjaTrader how many ticks away from your initial stop price that you want your limit order to be placed whenever the last traded price touches your initial stop. Which may sound confusing right now, but I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK and to save those changes. And let's go ahead and start placing some orders here. So to place a buy market order using the SuperDOM, just left-click on the Market button on the Buy column. And to place a sell market order, you'll just click on the Market button at the bottom of the Sell column. To place a buy limit order on the SuperDOM, what we'll do, just go ahead and hold the SuperDOM, so it makes it a little easier to place here. And then we'll just want to find a price that we want to place a limit order for below the last traded price on the buy column. And what you'll do is hover your mouse just over your specified price point that you'd like to place your limit order, and then just left click and then confirm. And whenever you do so, you'll notice that a blue LMT box appears. And we actually have another blue LMT box here from earlier whenever we placed that limit order using the Orders tab. And to place a sell limit order using the SuperDOM, just pick a point above the last traded price on the sell column and just left click. So before we move on to the other order types, I'd like to mention that you can modify the location of your limit orders if you wish after you've already placed them by left clicking on the order that you wish to move and then left clicking where you'd like to move it to. So note that is a click and click method of order modification, not a click and drag. Don't click and drag, it may not function exactly as you'd expect. You can also change the quantity of contracts on a particular position by clicking on the green quantity box that will appear to the left or to the right of your limit orders. So say you wanted to change this limit order that's on 2125 from 1 to say 6. Say you want 6 contracts whenever the last traded price touches that. So you'll just click on that green box, change this quantity box to 6, and then left click on the check mark. And you'll notice the quantity box changes from a 1 to a 6S, indicating that you have 6 stacked contracts on that position. You can also cancel out of orders by left clicking on the big red X that appears to the right of your limit orders, or to the right or to the left rather, depending on the side of the market that you're looking at. And if you want to cancel out of all pending orders on a particular side of the market, you can actually come down to this red X that will appear to the left of the SuperDOM collapse button, or to the right of the center button, or the C button here. If you left click on that, it'll cancel out of all of the pending orders on a particular side of the market. So with that said, let's take a look at how to place buy stop market orders. So to do that, find a price point that you'd like to place your buy stop market order above the last traded price on the buy column. Hold down the control button on your keyboard and then middle mouse click. And then to place a sell stop market order, just find a point below the last traded price on the sell column, hold down the control button on your keyboard, and then middle mouse click. And to place buy stop limit orders, what you'll do is very much like stop market orders. You'll follow the same rules as to which side of the market to place them on. So you'll pick a point above the last traded price on the buy column and then just middle mouse click. And whenever you do so, take a look at this confirm order placement window rather than just clicking through. So I middle mouse clicked on 2108.25, which is going to be the location of my initial stop. So whenever the last traded price touches my initial stop at 2108.25, it's going to issue a limit order for 2 ticks above that at 2108.75. If you remember, 2 is what we put in that stop limit offset properties box whenever we were setting up our SuperDOM. So that is where the SuperDOM gets this number, which is 2 ticks above. If you were to go back to the properties menu and put, say, a 4 or a 6 or a 10 or anything in that stop limit offset property, it would tell the SuperDOM to place the the limit order after the last traded price touches your initial stop, that many ticks above your initial stop. So since we put 2 in that box, it's going to place a limit order at 2108.75. Just like so. And it's the same principle on the other side. We'll follow the same rules as stop market orders. And so below the last traded price on the sell column, just middle mouse click on your desired position. So it's important to know what order types demand certain market conditions, such as the fact that you need to place a buy limit order below the last traded price on the buy column. Fortunately, if you make a mistake, NinjaTrader will throw an error to remind you that you're placing an illegal order. So let's go ahead and take a short quiz covering the contents of the section that we just covered. This is just a single choice question here. What does the green price on the SuperDOM price ladder indicate? And if you remember, I mentioned this whenever we were just kind of reviewing what the various columns were on the SuperDOM and what the last traded price was indicated by, and so on. All right, great. Looks like we've got a few answers in here. I'll give you another couple of seconds here in order to get your answers in. So the correct answer is the ask price. The green price on the SuperDOM indicates the ask price. So the first answer up here is the correct one. So looks like most of you got that right, so great job, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another poll in the room here, just kind of just to review how are we doing? Should we slow down, or should we keep the same pace, or anything I can do in order to just kind of help understanding here? All right, great. So it looks like we're going pretty much the perfect speed here, so I'll go ahead and continue at this pace as we cover ChartTrader. So John asks, how do you sell out partial contracts for multiple contracts? You know, I'm not sure I understand the question there. We really only deal with not partial fills or anything on this webinar. If you're having partial fills and things, so if you have 3 contracts, okay. I'll go ahead and just open a position for 3 here. And then close 2. Okay, I see. So in order to close 2 of those, what you'll do is set your order quantity to 2 in this box. And then since we did buy market, we'll just do a sell market here. And that'll leave us with just 1 open. So is that kind of what you were looking for there, John? All right, perfect. Great, no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. All right, so from here, we'll go ahead and carry on. So now we'll look at ChartTrader. So ChartTrader is another method of order entry that allows you to use a chart as a visual representation. There's 2 ways to enable ChartTrader on this chart. I'm just going to go ahead and use this ES615 5-minute chart here. So the first and the easiest method of enabling ChartTrader is to go up to your chart toolbar up here, go to this button right here, which is the 5th button from the right, and left click on it, and you'll notice this chart panel appears, which is in fact ChartTrader. The other way to open up ChartTrader on chart is by right clicking on the background of your chart and left clicking on the properties button at the bottom. If you then scroll through the list of properties, you'll see the Show ChartTrader property. And if you set that to true, press OK, it'll do the same thing as this button up here. So to place a buy market order using ChartTrader, what you'll do is just left click on the Buy Market button here. And Sell Market is very much the same story, just left click on the Sell Market order button here. And really that's about the gist of how to place market orders using ChartTrader. But it is a little different placing other types of orders, like limit orders and things, because what you'll do is you're going to actually, say you wanted to place a buy limit order, what you'll do is you'll see the last traded price on your chart is indicated by this black box, or it's black by default rather, which is kind of just jump and dance around just depending on what the last traded price is. So in order to place a buy limit order using ChartTrader, just come down below this last traded price on the chart itself. So just hover your cursor over your particular price point that you'd like to place your pending order. So say you wanted to place that buy limit order at 20.98 even. So hover your cursor just over 20.98 even here, and then right click. And you're going to be presented with the types of orders that you can actually place. So you'll see buy limit, sell stop, and sell stop limit. And then if you'll notice, if you right click above the last traded price, you're presented with the opposite options. So sell limit, buy stop, and buy stop limit. So NinjaTrader is smart enough to tell kind of what you can place on a particular side of the market when using ChartTrader. So there is one thing I'd like to note just as far as placing stop limit orders. So if you wanted to place a stop limit order on 2103 here, for example, you just right click and left click on buy stop limit. And you'll notice whenever you do that, you're going to get this box here, this quantity box. And what this is asking you is how many ticks away from your initial stop would you like to place your subsequent limit order whenever the last traded price touches your initial stop. So if we put a 4 in this box and then hit the check mark, take a look at this confirm order placement screen. You'll see we right clicked on 2103 even for our initial stop, and then we put a 4 in that quantity box indicating 4 ticks above this initial stop is where our limit order will be placed, and 4 ticks above 2103 even is 2104 even, at least on the ES. So if you hit yes, and it looks like the last traded price actually moved above where I was placing my order. Looks like I jabbered on too long there. So let me move up a bit and try it again. Let's go ahead and put 4. Move up a bit and try it again. Let's go ahead and put 4. So 2105.50, 2106.50. Yes. And you'll see that appears on your chart. Toy asks, can you put this tick difference automatically? I mean, without having to put 4 ticks on every order. That's a good question, actually, because I'm not sure on ChartTrader. I know you can on the dynamic SuperDOM, as we covered, but let's take a look at the ChartTrader properties here. You can, okay. So in order to set that up automatically, just right-click on the ChartTrader panel, not your chart, but your ChartTrader panel over here. So right-click, click on ChartTrader Properties, and scroll down to this list, and you'll see Stop Limit Offset. So if you wanted to just say automatically each stop limit would be 4 ticks, just put a 4 in that box, press OK, and let's go ahead and test that. Yeah, there we go, 2106 and then 2107. So that's 4 ticks above automatically without having to put that quantity in. We'll hit yes. It looks like it works. So, looks like even I learned something here. And really, that's really all there is to ChartTrader. It's pretty simple to use. So let's go ahead and just take another quiz here. So the question is, and this is multiple choice, right-clicking above the last traded price while ChartTrader is enabled will give you what options for possible order types. And feel free to cheat if you'd like. You can definitely right-click above the last traded price and just take a look. And You'll know the answer. Alright, so it looks like we've got a few answers in here. So the question once more was right-clicking above the last traded price while Chart Trader is enabled will give you what options for possible order types. So we'll go ahead and right-click on 2104 even. We're presented with the options to sell limit, buy stop, and buy stop limit. So the top three options are the correct answers there. Great job, everyone. Go ahead and close that. It looks like we have another question here. I saw some videos with people placing orders, and when the price reaches the order, it opens a profit target and a stop loss. How can I do that? All right, so what you're looking for there is called ATM strategies, which is actually covered in a separate webinar, which is happening later today. So I would highly recommend joining that. And I actually have the time and the presenter I have it written down here, so let me see who that is. So looks like the webinar is Understanding ATM Strategies 201, and that occurs at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time today. So definitely join that if you're interested in that functionality. You bet, anytime. So that really about covers the content that I have that I've scheduled here. So before we go, let's go ahead and save our work by closing NinjaTrader by clicking on the red X in the upper right-hand corner of the NinjaTrader control panel. We definitely want to be sure to click there to shut down NinjaTrader instead of using the Windows toolbar in order to preserve our workspace. Well, it looks like we've got some active orders. I'm just going to go ahead and hit yes to shut down anyway. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click yes to all, so our workspace will be ready for the next time that I need it. Alright, so in just a few short hours, we're going to take order entry to the next level with Understanding ATM Strategies 201 at 5:30 Eastern. And this is what we added to our workspace today, which would be the SuperDOM and the Chart Trader panel. So join Patrick later today to gain a better understanding of how you can use ATM strategies to automatically manage your orders and positions using the SuperDOM and Chart Trader we just added to our workspace.